what's going on, Randy?
Not much. How are you? How are you? You know what? Something happened that I'm going to check that I make sure that I'm going live. It might
Okay.
have somehow deleted. Oh, no. I might have messed up.
Oh no. I'm sure
I'm
we'll
going to
figure it
have
out.
to
We'll figure it out.
re-add it.
It is
Hold
always
on.
I hate like when I go live and then I accidentally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see here. Oh, okay. Save changes. And yeah, now we're back. Now we're back. Easy enough. Okay. So let me just make sure it's going.
All right.
And another thing about StreamYard is I can read comments, but I can't read who they're from.
Oh yeah, that sucks. Also, by the way, it's
Yeah.
LJR Creative, not LJR
Oh,
Creations.
let me change that banner real quick. Creatives.
Sweet, thank you. Yep.
Creatives. Is that better?
No S.
Oh, God. All right. Now we're right and ready to roll.
Perfect.
Let's
Yeah,
make sure
let's
that
do it.
we're doing that. And then we'll tell everyone what's going on. And I don't see it on Facebook. Oh, man. Wait a minute. We got one comment.
Are you are.
Oh, Billy's there. So Billy's watching. Okay. So my crew's coming on.
Awesome.
We'll give him a few more minutes. I don't even see it on my end.
Yeah, I'll search as well and see if I can find it. But I'm sure if Billy's found his way here that it's on there. I've definitely found sometimes when you like multi-stream to different platforms, it's not always super easy to find the video if even though
Yeah, it
you're
should be going
really
right to
close.
my fan page. And up there we are. Okay. Okay, so Billy's with us. We'll give All right, so Billy's watching. We'll give people a few more minutes. And then we'll get into what's going on. Oh, my mom's here.
Hey, what's up, Mom?
You gotta have one person at least watching, right? Good old mom. So Luke, where are you
Oh,
right
yeah.
now?
I'm outside of my favorite coffee shop. I guess it's one of my two favorite coffee shops. So I'm based in DC, and this coffee shop is called All City Cafe. It's actually in Laurel, so about 30 minutes outside, really close actually to my parents' old house. So what's up, Elaine? What's up,
Oh,
Paul? Nice to see you guys. Yeah, so I typically will go and hang out at coffee shops. I do most of my editing stuff there, updating ads or setting up, like online automations, stuff like that. Working on my course and coaching launch for something called Music Video Accelerator. So where I teach people how to, make their own music videos and do all sorts of stuff. And so all that stuff for the marketing, I'm always like at a coffee shop, doing fun stuff.
oh, so you
Like
actually,
that.
that's your creative process? You sit at a coffee shop and edit?
Yep.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
totally. So yeah,
Okay,
although
some other
I just
people.
discovered that apparently caffeine and I don't really get along that well anymore. It definitely makes me way too anxious. So I'm on like strictly decaf coffee these
Yes,
days.
I am not in love with caffeine. Even like regular sodas, I can only have a little bit. Um, yeah, it's not my friend anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I have to find other ways to get energized and be all right with the world. Some people are finding us. Paul's on. I had some text messages. They couldn't find me, but then they found me. So we're actually going on. I'm at Billy's also at his favorite coffee shop watching us, which is really cool.
Yes, Billy. That's
Go
awesome.
Billy. Go Billy. I'm in my favorite loft for the time being. So
yeah, or is that your streaming studio that you're at?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. I'm actually moving tomorrow. I close. I'm moving back to Pennsylvania. And my new studio is literally going to be the size pretty much of my condo now. It's going to be this huge space.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so exciting.
I am so excited. So excited. So, oh, we lost you. There you are. There you are. So some people are trickling on.
Yeah, I was trying to see if there's if I could like zoom in or something. Yeah, keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah. I have to be careful. There's a bit of a delay. So, okay, welcome everyone for this is a very special edition of my weekly live stream, because when I released my last set of videos, you know, Treat Me Right, I had a blast making that, and you got to see the characters in that. And in Sidewalks, we also went behind the scenes there, but we didn't get to talk to Luke, the guy who made it all happen. So I really wanted to rectify that problem and catch up. And welcome, Luke. Everyone's applauding. So glad you're here. So
thank you. Thanks for having me, Randy, and thank you to everybody who's here. Thank you. Yeah, it was really fun working on those videos with you. I'm glad we got to do that in Cancun. That was such a cool trip.
Oh, Anita's watching too. Hello, Anita. You know, Cancun was such a cool trip, was on so many different levels that it's hard to even put into words what happened with this 28 people in Cancun, how close we all became. And when I got down there, I didn't know you. And you're like, oh, you know what? I shoot some videos. I'll give you guys a deal to shoot video. So this is my live stream. They get to see warts and all behind the scene. So feel free to be completely honest, because most people just did a live production. But I'm like, oh no, I want to go into a bar. Did you go, oh my goodness, that wasn't quite the deal. This lady's crazy. What was your initial thoughts?
Well, so normally when I do, so to give everybody kind of some context, I run a video production company called LJR Creative. And I started off doing a lot of different types of videos, and have kind of niched down to really focus on live performance or music videos, and specifically like one-take videos. And usually I don't really do stuff that has too much of a narrative or a story anymore, because it just takes a lot of time to storyboard all that stuff out, to do all the pre-production, to plan it all, to find all the locations, and it's a lot more in editing, you know, later after as well. But the one way that I do sometimes still say yes to this type of thing is if we could do like a one take for the story, and we kind of have a limited sort of general idea of what the concept is and kind of what we want to, you know, kind of generally do with the video. And then we also have location, and then we get there, and on the day we just use all of our creativity to, you know, kind of come up with where the video is going to go and what the person's going to do and map it all out to the song. And I've done that a number of times, and it's turned out to be a really cool, creative way to approach doing video, where everything is, you know, this really kind of unique one-take video. Typically, I do mostly like live performance stuff. Like we'll have artists come through at a studio, and we'll do a bunch of like 45-minute slots where each artist gets a slot, and they can film as many videos as they want within that time frame for certain rates per video. Something like, you know, $250 a video, or for the first one, $150 per after, and stuff like that. And it creates a really cool way to kind of get people really affordable content for not as much. But one of the things that's interesting is that I don't do as much of these like one take story videos anymore. But Randy really wanted to do a lot more than kind of just a performance video, which I definitely was not planning on doing down in Cancun.
In a foreign
originally,
country.
I don't normally. Yeah. Well, I mean, normally, I, for those things, we do kind of like a higher budget thing, even if it's just kind of the one take, just because there is a lot more that goes into it. But I was like, hey, let's try this because, I'm a modern musician, Randy's a modern musician, let's give this a go and, see what we can make happen. And then we came up with some really cool ideas, just kind of on the spot, planning things out. Randy had kind of a basic concept for, each video, and like sidewalks, was one, obviously that called to be on the sidewalk. And we actually did get some people to come in and like do some kind of backup, dancer activity, which was really fun. And then we did, Treat Me Right as well, with the guys at the bar. And each one took us about, I think, 5 or 6 takes to really kind of go through and practice to figure out, what is the blocking? When does everybody come in? What exactly do they do? And then I had to practice getting the camera motion right for all this as well to kind of capture everything. So it took us about, 5 to 6 takes per video. And on sidewalks, like the light was really going down fast. And,
well, for sidewalks,
there was one part in the one that we ended up choosing that we weren't sure on the first take. Go ahead.
For sidewalks, we were all in a hurry to get there. We wanted to shoot. I had my slot, but the sun was too high, remember? And we had to sit there and wait. And then we're like, wait, the sun's getting too low. We had to finish up really, really quickly.
Totally. Yeah, because the sun was like blasting onto this really bright white concrete on the building, on the hotel. And that made it so that that particular part of the image was really distracting and like too bright. So we needed to wait until it was darker, but not like dark. The sun needed to go down enough so it wasn't making that part super bright. But then we hardly had any time to do the takes. We could only do like, 4 or 5 takes. So I think we probably had like maybe 30 minutes, of light to really try stuff. And that included kind of getting people, synced up with the dance moves and figuring out what they were going to be and all that stuff. And it all really came together well. It was a really cool team effort to see everybody contribute and be a part of it.
Right. Sidewalks, we had to come up with some dance moves. But let's go back to Treat Me Right. I actually have these videos queued up. So maybe we could actually just watch the first sequence of that and explain from your end how complicated it was moving in and out. We had to block this out like 3 times. And then it took us 3 times to shoot it where they weren't stepping on the back of my shirt because it was a high-low shirt. We had to get people out of the way of the bar because we just kind of barged our way in. And Luke, you can explain to them how we had to find a bar scene because nobody, the first bar wouldn't let us in. Right. So now that the birds on your end have stopped chirping,
let's watch it.
Let's watch this video. Let's watch the first part of this. Whoops. Let's go here. Oh, I want to go to this move. Wait, I'm gotten the wrong one. Add the stream. Okay.
It's not the way you walk or the way you talk. Don't have to comb your hair. Just leave it there. It's not the car you drive or arrive alive or the shirt you wear. I don't even care. Look, here you come. You wanna have some fun before you get with me. Boy, you gotta please. You gotta treat me right.
All right. We'll leave that up.
Yeah, memories are flooding back to me about this.
Is it all coming back? Now we're in a foreign country.
Totally.
We're in a foreign country. I found a loophole. I'm like, oh, I want to find a bar scene. And you're like, okay, but it's got to be one take. And I'm like, yeah, we'll figure it out. How hard? I mean, you have people moving in and out. You have people behind you. And you have to maneuver the camera, which people don't know. This is like on your shoulder, this big rig you had going.
Yeah, I'm like holding it up. Yeah. Well, there's a couple things. The first thing is I definitely remember us really searching around, trying to find a good bar that could work for this, and we had to walk. I think it was almost a mile. It was somewhere maybe more like half a mile, but really far away to a whole different part of the hotel. This was like a huge, massive resort. For those of you who are listening, it's such a huge place. So we were able to walk up a half mile and still be like pretty much in the middle of the resort. And they had tons of really cool bars. The one that was closest to us, we didn't think was really kind of the right fit. We were trying to get permission to film there. Person was kind of being weird about the permission stuff. They were like, have your people call our people or something like that. It was like such a whole thing.
Yeah, they threw us out. We got thrown out.
Like kind of an open place at the bar. Well, I don't think we actually tried to shoot at that one spot, but we didn't really it just wasn't right. It just didn't feel right. I remember you being really disappointed. Like, I really hope we can still do this because, you really want to be able to get it done in Cancun and everything. And I thought like, yeah, we definitely got to find a way to do this. And so somebody had been, I think it was Christian, had been playing piano at this other bar that was like a half mile away. And so we ended up finding that place. And it was way better vibe. Like the mood was totally there, which like one of the biggest things in video is the art direction, which is like all the textures and things that like you'd have to, if you were to build like a movie set for the music video, all those things being there already because it's actually that place makes it a lot easier. If you have to build like a movie set and include like all the beer bottles and textures for the bar, build out the bar, which is what a lot of movie sets may do for their own unique locations. There's like, that's a lot of work. So we got, really lucky finding a spot that was just perfect. And the back corner of the bar was unoccupied. So we just kind of walked in, and this time we decided we're just going to ask for forgiveness rather than permission.
Right.
And the other thing is like, when you have like a big fancy rig, like, my rig's probably like, $6,000-$7,000 worth of gear, that thing makes you look professional. So people don't ask questions. They just assume you're supposed to be there. Which is awesome. So you at least get a little bit of time before people really start getting weird and be like, should you be here? If you just act confident, like, oh yeah, we're just doing this thing, they just go, oh, okay, like I guess they're doing this thing, and they assume that you have the permissions and everything, which is great. So that's what we did, and it worked great. We just started blocking out everything and figuring out like, who do we want to come in first, who should come in second, third, and then also trying to like mimic some of the lyrics, like what is actually being said here, and then how do we kind of represent that without being like overly on the nose. I think that worked really well. And then camera wise, I was trying to make sure, I've shot a number of these videos before, so it's pretty easy to kind of follow along generally with a character, but I had to kind of learn the action of like you're kind of saying this phrase and then there's kind of a response by the guy, and then you're kind of saying another phrase. And so balancing, making sure I'm shooting you well, but also, kind of shooting the other guy and getting his, response to whatever it is you're saying, and then capturing key moments where you're like, pushing the person away, all that stuff. It's basically like a lot of fast memorization and trying to really listen to the song. So I just felt what was coming next. So I could just kind of naturally move into that position because, with the camera, you really have to move into the right position before you need to be there, right? You need to start that process early so that it really feels natural, so that when you start like a chorus or whatever, you're at the spot, you're at the new positioning, for that. So yeah, It was really cool. Okay. And we got the guys to dance a little bit too, which is fun. I had no idea if they were gonna like actually dance or not, but they totally did. which was great. And we went through it about 5 or 6 times before we really kind of got the take where everything felt right.
Right.
And literally the entire rest of like the whole crew, or pretty much the whole crew, was all like behind us, like, and not crew for the music video, but just all the other modern musician people that were there for the retreat. They were all there, just like hanging out and like kind of being part of things and like kind of just watching and everything. So it's really cool, very fun, like community way for things to be happening. I think one of the other things that was interesting was that I really needed to focus on remembering to cue everybody as I'm like moving the camera and everything. I have to make sure I cue everybody early as well, you know, calling out, all right, Zach, you know, you now, you know, and then Morrow, and then I don't know why I'm
Logan started. Logan started. Logan, Morrow, Zach.
That's right. Yeah.
Logan, Morrow, Zach.
Yes. Yeah, that was so great. So, but just like calling all those things out, and then kind of making sure that, because again, at the end, you guys kind of walked out of the bar together. So we need to make sure we kind of called that as well, and then kind of followed through on that with the shot. So it worked really well. I was very happy with just kind of how this one turned out. I thought it felt really organic and natural. It didn't feel like it was too boring at all, because there were always like little changes. It can be easy in one takes if you just do the same thing over and over again for things to get boring, but each character really brought in a little something different. Randy, you interacted with them a little bit differently each too, which was great.
Right.
Kind of reacted to the lyrics as well. And kind of
Morrow,
some great energy there. And then I tried to kind of
Morrow put those sunglasses on me, and he had never done that before in practice, and I thought I was gonna die laughing. Like I was doing everything I could not to laugh. They were each doing something.
Yeah.
Each time we did it, they were doing something different, which made things really quite fun. After we had just hauled all the equipment, at least half a mile to 3/4 of a mile to find this bar in like 90-degree heat with 100% humidity, and to your credit, you've heard the song a few times. You didn't get to block it out like you usually did. We were just like memorizing and coming up on the fly. So that's to your credit for memorizing and being able to move like you did. And
thank you. Yeah, that's one of the things I've really worked to develop is that. Oh, go ahead.
No, Paul says, Luke, you really were at the right place, and it was really smooth. You didn't know it was, like it was like a guerrilla. What does it say? Guerrilla shoot. They would think it was meticulously planned and placed ahead of time. So, my mom says too. They really loved both the videos. So they were really well received. Both of them. That the surprise here is that Sidewalks did even better on YouTube than Treat Me Right with 126,000 views. Treat Me Right had just over 100,000, which to me, I'm thrilled with both of them, doing so well. Yeah. But I'm surprised that Sidewalks did a little bit better.
I would say, I don't know. It's really impossible to know kind of why, but probably it's just like the image itself is like outside. There's more green. The colors are just more vibrant. This is, it's a little bit of a dimmer video, a little bit darker because it is in the bar. And what I found is that oftentimes the videos that are just more bright and there's a lot more kind of color to them. Like this one's a little bit more muted, which is not a bad thing at all. But it does oftentimes create just a little bit more of a stunning visual aspect color-wise, and people tend to be drawn to this. So that might be one of the reasons for why it's different. There's all sorts of reasons, but either way, I think if both of them got over 100,000 views, they obviously performed well.
Hey Luke, Matt Fawcett is joining us.
Hey, what's up, Matt?
And he says, 2 incredibly gifted artists coming from Matt Fawcett. That's high praise. Just shows how good you have to be in order to throw it together. You both are absolutely incredible. And he was on. He's one of the modern musicians who were with us on the retreat. An incredible artist. And Luke, I have to throw in there too that you are an incredible artist. I've seen your live shows, and you're amazing on stage. You have a lot of energy. So we have to get like a modern musician lineup going. You know, me, Matt, you know, do a little show. Man, that would be a good time. That would be a good time. Do you want to see a little clip of us dancing for sidewalks?
Do it.
All right, add the stream. Here you go. I'm going to move it to where we start dancing.
All along the way.
Okay, wait, I'm going to back up a little bit.
I remember sidewalks. All along the way. The places that I go and friends that I know. The dreams I have followed, some lost along the way. I remember sidewalks. Take me where I need to go.
Here. Yep.
The world's awaiting you, and I remember sidewalks all along the way. I remember sidewalks. Take me where I need to go.
Luke, how far did we walk? How many times did we do this?
We did this a lot. I think it was something like, I mean, it was about the same as the other, about like 5 to 6. It might have been more than that, because I think we did some practice. We did a bunch of practice takes before we even started, like giving ourselves a real chance to kind of, actually do like a real take, which I think was good. Because that way we really kind of were able to lock in like where everybody was supposed to kind of come in, how that was supposed to happen. I remember like it was not easy to get, because the background dancers were like walking with us just out of the camera shot, and then they had to kind of go around us, and then in order for them to disappear and then come back, they also had to like do this interesting motion that we really had to coordinate and practice a number of times. And then also kind of get them, kind of in on beat, and then kind of coming in dancing. Like there were all these little tweaks we had to make for each one of those.
Yeah, it presented a different set of challenges than being indoors, where we could actually control that a little bit better. The environment, the sun going down, and you video guys are crazy on lighting. It's like the light's got to be right, the light's going to be right. And here we're using natural light that just was kind of fading as my hair was fading with each take. And I'm like, oh God, please, because there was one take where somebody walked in front of us, and I'm like, you just didn't do that and blow my entire take, in one move. Like it was something else. It all looks natural, Billy says. And Paul says it's awesome that you had perfect sidewalks. We had better ones in the front, but there was just too many people walking in and off the beach. We couldn't use them.
Yeah.
Matt Fawcett says that, and Sam was wearing a boot on his foot. Oh, we forgot to say that for half the week.
Yeah, there were a couple times when people were like walking through our shot, and we had to stop because it was just like the wrong time.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, you were breaking up. You said again?
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Having to make poor Sam walk all those miles and do some dance moves and with the little boot. We can't see it there. We're cutting that off, but he was a trooper. And Rachel Hamer, another talent from New York City. She was like the #1 busker last year in New York City. She's talented too. So I'm gonna have to tag them on this. They did a behind the scenes with me when it was originally released, and that's still on YouTube. You could see that. So, oh, what a good time.
Yeah.
What a good time. So what are you working on now, Luke?
Yeah. So there's a bunch of things that are kind of in the pipeline. The main thing is I'm working to really scale up. Well, the main thing is really my music. So I'm really pushing my album right now. So I've got 3 singles released so far. Right now I'm pushing the 3rd one with a bunch of ads, Facebook and Instagram, trying to build up some of the Spotify stuff and build my email and texting list. And then I'm also running, actually just before we were talking, I was working on setting up some of the TikTok ads that I'm going to try to promote this show on the 29th that I have in DC. I think that TikTok ads for events could be really strong, especially because they mainly go to like a younger audience. Not all, but TikTok is in general like a younger platform. And part of what we do at our shows is we actually give people like 2 free drinks at like a pre-show party. So we actually go out and buy alcohol in bulk, so that basically we can give people drinks at like $1 a beer. And as long as you're giving the drink away, you don't have to have like a license for that, which is awesome. So we actually do have plans to, since I have a nonprofit that we use to kind of support different nonprofits, in future events, as a nonprofit, you can get a single day liquor license. So we're actually going to be able to sell alcohol at shows and like have like a really low cost, or really low like cost to the customer. So like fans can come in and maybe get like a bunch of $5 or $6 beers, and we're still actually making money on those beers, and we're able to have another revenue source other than just ticket sales, while providing like a way cooler experience for the fans that are there. So we're working on building out this plan for events and then executing different parts of it with my production team to kind of slowly build to the part where we can actually do all of it in one event. So we're very excited for that. So we're going to be just trying a bunch of different stuff and seeing where that goes. So that's one big thing. I'm also working on the Amplify series a lot. We're trying to scale that. So right now we have some pretty awesome events that happen in DC and one in Maryland. So basically every month we have an event in DC where artists come in, they get their slot to film videos. We can fit 10 artists in a day, and we also do that in Maryland, one per month, which is awesome. And we're starting to really pack out those events. So the plan is to expand up to Philly and to New York as well, and that's really exciting to kind of see this idea really take off, because I've been working on this thing since last July, and it creates a situation where we're creating such high value for the artist, because it's these awesome, super high quality videos that, normally, like if I were to do just one video for one person on a day, the minimum that I'd put is $1,000. And, for most video production companies, they would do something, at least that. And so that obviously creates a problem for artists because they need a lot of content, but they can't afford that much money, every month, and definitely not every week. And you really need to release a lot more content online. So this kind of solves that problem where now you can, if you, got one video, it's $250. If you got 2 videos, it's $400. And so you can release bi-weekly content, for basically $400 a month. It's super high quality. And we're slowly starting to build that. And enough people are really getting a lot of value out of that, that we're starting to scale it up. So it's cool because it meets that deep need for artists to have high quality content that's not expensive. And then for me as a business, because the main reason I do the video is because to do my own video stuff and now to pay people tons of money for that. That's why I learned video. But then also to kind of fund all of my music stuff is all done through the video. And so I needed a way to be able to make enough money within a small portion of the month in order to be able to support not only my expenses, but also investments into the music advertising and all that kind of stuff. And it's done that really well. So I spend, 5 to 10 days out of the month working on other projects like Amplify or other music videos. And then the rest of the month, I'm really focused on, working on my marketing or launching some other things, or, working on the promotion and the events and my own music, which is totally awesome. So those are the main things that are kind of in the pipeline right now.
That sounds like amazing things. And you're so busy that when I release my new record this summer or fall, I hope you have time for some new videos.
hey, let's chat and we can try to figure something out. I try to keep
Oh,
my
we're gonna have
calendar
to do.
as empty as possible, but so hopefully we'll be able to do something.
All right. All right. We have to get the team back together. I don't know if it'll be Cancun, but it'll be somewhere.
Yeah,
It might
totally.
be more of my new digs in Palmer Township, Pennsylvania. So we'll have to figure it out. Well, maybe we'll have to road trip to you. We'll meet in the middle.
Hey, I mean, honestly, what city are you going to be living in Pennsylvania?
Well, the lead track is called "Don't Tell Mama." It's about when you're growing up, you're doing things you don't want your parents to find out, and everyone knows you're doing crazy things. So it's called "Don't Tell Mama." It's just going to be this fun, zany video that I want to put together.
Yeah, that's awesome. But I was asking, what part of Pennsylvania?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm in DC, so I'm not that far.
Yeah, you're not. I'm going to be outside of Easton, in between Easton and Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Okay. Do you know how far that is from the Maryland border?
Google.
To give you an idea, I'm like 3 hours from Philly, 2 or 3 hours from Philly.
Okay, then probably another hour and a half. I'm going to go Easton to Maryland, right?
Yeah, I mean, technically I'm DC, so
Okay.
I type in DC.
I'll put to DC and see what it says. 3.5 hours.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, I mean,
That's
you can come
nothing.
to one of our Amplify events or something. That could be great. But yeah, we should. I mean, we'll definitely. The reason I was saying I try to keep my schedule empty is so I can say yes to different projects like this. I try not to pack it up with tons of different stuff because I want to be able to say yes to the projects that have some that really fit within kind of the mold of what I've been working to build within the video production company. This is totally one of those.
Yes, thank you. Don't make me have to send Nat Fawcett out to work you over there. That'll take care of you. All right, guys. Well, Luke, you've been so great hanging out. You're up to such wonderful things. So, guys, you should check out Luke, LJR Creative. Really, a top artist with modern musicians. He's a lot of fun to watch. He's got some great things going on. So check him out. And I will see you guys back here next Thursday. And we'll see what else is going on at that time. But Luke, thanks for your time. Thanks for hanging out. Matt Fawcett's laughing. He loves us both.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and thanks so much for having me, Randy. I really appreciate it. And
yeah. So
yeah,
all right, guys, everyone.
And if everybody wants to check out, real quick, I was just gonna say, if anybody wants to check out any of my music, the best way to find it is just LJR. So you can search that on Spotify. There's a couple other LJRs, but I'm pretty sure I got the top spot at least for now. So working on maintaining that. But yeah, just search LJR music, and you should find me anywhere on Google and all that kind of stuff.
All right, and I recommend that you do that soon. All right, everyone, thanks for hanging out with us. You guys have a good night, and see you around.